In the last video, we talked about why you wake up exhausted even after a full night in bed. Today, we're going a level deeper. We're looking at the actual science, what is physically happening inside your brain when you sleep. And I want to start with something that a lot of people in this community have experienced. You push for a sleep study. You finally get one. And the results come back and your doctor says, it's normal. Nothing unusual. You're sleeping fine. And you sit there thinking, how is that possible? Because you wake up every single morning feeling like you haven't slept at all. Here's what most standard sleep studies don't pick up on, and what most doctors aren't looking for. There is a specific pattern of brain activity that has been identified in people with fibromyalgia and ME/CFS. It's called the alpha-delta sleep anomaly. And once you understand what it actually is, the results of that sleep study will make a lot more sense. More importantly, the way you feel every morning will finally make sense. I'm Rashpal and I'm a wellness coach sharing from lived experience and research, not a medical professional. Please do work with your own healthcare team alongside anything we discuss here. Before we look at what's going wrong, we need to understand what sleep is actually supposed to do, because most of us were never taught this properly. Sleep isn't one continuous state. It moves in cycles throughout the night. And within each cycle, there are different stages. You have lighter stages of sleep at the start, and then, if everything is working as it should, your brain moves into what's called delta sleep, deep sleep, slow wave sleep. Whatever term you've heard, they're all referring to the same thing. And delta sleep is where the real work happens. This is when your muscles repair, when your immune system does its most active work, when your brain essentially flushes itself, clearing out the metabolic waste products that build up during the day. It's also where your pain system resets, when the volume on the pain signals gets turned down. It is, in the most literal sense, your body's overnight maintenance shift. For someone with a healthy, well-regulated nervous system, they move in and out of delta sleep several times a night. They might not remember any of it, but they wake up having had that reset. The maintenance crew came in, did their job, and left. Now, what happens when that maintenance crew can't get in? This is where fibromyalgia and ME/CFS change the picture entirely. Your brain produces different types of waves depending on what state you're in. When you're wide awake and focused, your brain produces beta waves, fast and active. When you're awake but relaxed, perhaps daydreaming or just winding down, it produces alpha waves. And when you move into deep restorative sleep, it produces those slow, steady delta waves that we talked about. In a healthy nervous system, those states don't overlap. Alpha and delta don't happen at the same time. You're either in one or the other. But research has shown that in people with fibromyalgia, and this is also seen in ME and CFS, alpha waves keep appearing during what should be delta waves. The alert, wakeful pattern keeps intruding into the deep, restorative one. Here's how I think about it. Imagine you're finally drifting off. The room is quiet, you're comfortable, everything feels settled. And then someone walks in, turns a bright light on for a few seconds, turns it off again, leaves, and then comes back 10 minutes later and does exactly the same thing, all night long. You don't fully wake up. You might not remember any of it in the morning, but you never reach the deep, uninterrupted rest that you needed because something keeps pulling you backwards, back towards the surface. That is essentially what the alpha and delta anomaly looks like inside your brain. Your own nervous system is the one switching that light on. Not because something is wrong with you as a person, but because your nervous system has become sensitized. It has learned to stay alert, even when you're unconscious, and it keeps interrupting the very process that would help calm it down. I remember reading about this for the first time and feeling this enormous sense of relief, not because it was good news, it isn't really, but because it meant that what I had been experiencing for years had an aim. It had a mechanism. It was real, it was measurable, and it made sense with my experience. And it wasn't something that I had imagined or exaggerated. So what actually happens when your brain keeps getting pulled out of delta sleep night after night? The first thing is pain. We touched on this in the last video, but I want to be more specific here. Your brain uses deep sleep to regulate what's called your pain gate, the system that controls how much pain signal gets through to your conscious awareness. Without proper delta sleep, that gate stays open. Pain signals that would normally be dampened during the night stay loud. Sometimes they get louder. This is why a bad night's sleep doesn't just make you tired with fibro. It tends to make everything worse the next day, especially first thing in the morning. More pain, more sensitivity, more difficulty managing things that you could handle reasonably well the day before. The second is brain fog. During delta sleep, your brain clears out a buildup of waste products that accumulate during your waking hours. One of them, adenosine, is directly linked to that heavy, slow, struggling to think feeling. When the clearance process is interrupted, those substances stay in your brain and you feel it. The difficulty in finding words, the sense that everything is slightly out of reach, every thought, the feeling that you're thinking through water. This isn't a weakness. This is our brains working under a genuine physiological load. And the third thing this affects, and I think this often goes unacknowledged, is the emotional and psychological toll of it. When you're not sleeping properly, your nervous system is running on empty. Your capacity to manage stress narrows, and that makes sense. Small things feel bigger, difficult things feel impossible. And because none of this is visible to the people around you, it can feel very isolating. I want to say directly, all of this is connected. The pain, the fog, the emotional exhaustion, they are not separate problems. They are all downstream of the same disrupted process. So now you have the science. The alpha-delta anomaly isn't a vague or unproven idea. It's a real documented pattern. And it explains why standard sleep advice doesn't touch the sides for most of us, because it doesn't address what's actually happening at the neurological level. If you've ever had a sleep study done, I'd genuinely love to hear about your experience in the comment. Did they mention anything about light sleep or frequent waking up? Did the results feel accurate to actually how you felt? Let's talk about it. Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to read today. Now, in the final video of this series, we move from the why and the science into the practical. What can actually help when you have a sensitized nervous system? What do you do with this information? That's what we're covering next. And I'll be honest with you about what has and hasn't worked for me over the years, because I think that's more useful than a neat list of tips. As always, there's a link to a free guide in the description below that helps you understand your own symptoms better. The more we know about ourselves, the more we can help ourselves. So until the next video, take good care of yourselves and be well.